folks. So in this tutorial we will learn how to create threads native Java way and how to create threads using executors. So there are two approaches in Java using which you could create threads. One is that you extend the thread class, and second is that you implement the Runnable interface. So let's go through those approaches one by one, and I will explain things in details for each of the approach. Let's go ahead with the first approach. So here I have got this class first way of creating thread. It got a main method, and I'm just creating a thread, right? And then starting it, and what that thread is as below is the first task class, which extends thread and overrides its one method. So it's compulsory to create the thread that you override the one method. And also one more thing to note, that you can't call the run method directly and expect it to be a thread. Then that would be a natural that would be a natural Java method call, right? So to run the thread, you need to call threads star method. So let's understand what we got in the one method. We just want to print tick tick 0 1 2 3 4 and so on up to 9, right? And just to show you some delay, let's reduce it. Let's say it's 500 ms, and I'm just adding try catch here for the reason that the sleep method throws interrupted exception. So that's where we have to either catch it like I have done this, or you have to throw it from here. And this is empty constructor, even I could remove it. Okay, let's run it. So you see it's printing 0 1 2 3 up to 9, right? Let's create another thread just to show you the threads in action. So with threads, we don't know which thread will execute first or finish first, right? Or when the processing will start first. So it all depends on the internal process of the OS plus your JVM. So let's run it. Now we got two threads. So we won't be able to identify from which thread the tick tick would be printed. So what I would do, I would just do one thing, just to differentiate those. What I would do is I would just print current thread name, current thread dot get name, right? And I would make it print, okay, so that it prints in the same line. And before to tick tick, I will put a space. Let's run it now. Yep. So you see, sometimes it's thread 0, then thread 1, then 0, then 1. Sometimes it would be thread 1, thread 1. It goes like this, right? So we don't know what would be the order of execution. Let me run it again. See, it's tick tick 1 2 times, right? Then 8 8 9 9. Then it's 6 7 6 7. So we don't know the actual order of processing. So yeah, that's how multi-threading is. So it becomes very difficult to catch the exception or to find out the issues or bugs. So we will see how executors help in future. But yeah, that's the first approach of creating threads. Let's go to second approach of creating threads. That is by implementing Runnable. So everything remains same. The only thing that changes is that now my second task that I have got here is implementing Runnable, right? And we have overridden this, well, not overridden, basically implemented the run method, and we are printing tick tick 0 to 9 the same way we were doing. Let's reduce it to 500 ms, and the basic difference is that you still need the thread object. So you have to pass a runnable object inside thread class object. Well, in thread class constructor as a parameter, like we have done here, right? So we created a thread and we passed a runnable object there, and then we started the thread, and it works the same way as it worked in the first approach. So it's compiling. Meanwhile, I think I could tell you one more thing, that there has to be and there should be one curiosity, that one method is not returning anything. What if you want your thread to process and return something? So we will see that also in detail in future tutorials. Yep, so this approach also works for us, and we created the thread successfully and it printed for us tick tick 1 0 2 and so on 9. Okay, let's see a third approach that I like the most, when the situations are like I want to declare something inline and I'm done with that. But this approach can only be followed in the versions greater than or equal to Java 8. So basically here I'm using lambda expression, right? So I declared, well, I declared a thread, I created a thread object, and rather than passing a runnable instance separately, what I would what I would have done is, like, I created and declared the thread run methods implementation inline. So with that comes one foundation, right? Because to write lambda expression for any interface, that interface should be functional interface, right? So let's see one thing. See, this is the change that has been introduced in Java 8. It has been made a functional interface. That's the only reason that you are able to use lambda expression here. Yep. So that's another approach, and we can run it. Yep, that works. Let's take a look at the last. Well, that's like native old approach of creating a thread, that's using anonymous inner classes. So it's similar to lambda expression or vice versa. You just say new runnable and then you override the method run and specify the details. Yep, that's it for this tutorial. In next tutorial, I will talk about how to create threads using executors. Thank you.